Hey guys, welcome back to a new scrap mechanic video. Today we're looking at Devblog 18 today guys. Devblog 18 got released yesterday. I haven't really had enough time to do a video on yesterday, so doing it today. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. I'm going to be looking through everything, showing my theories to you guys, and also we're going to be looking into what it actually has in store for us. If you guys didn't actually know what Devblog 18 or when it was going to come out, make sure you go follow Scrap Mechanic on Twitter, because they post all the latest things they're working on in the scrap mechanic survival, and also they post a week before each devlog. They post a teaser image which you're able to guess what the devlog's actually going to contain a week before the actual devlog gets posted. So make sure you go follow them for the latest news. But anyway, let's hop right into the video. Hi mechanics, it's that time again when we take you down a trip down development lane to show you some of the new exciting things that we've been working on at the scrap mechanic headquarters. All of our time is dedicated to survival mode at the moment, with a lot of new things being added daily. We've also been collecting a lot of optimization requests and feedback from the community. There is still a lot we can do to make your crazy and more complex creations run even better. We plan to make a proper optimization update later when we can free up some more time. Just a small update on that. With that said, let's move on to what you mechanics are here for, a nice big update on survival development. So guys, as you can see, that was the introduction. I'm just going to read this through. But anyway, so what they were saying basically is that they're working a lot on optimization, and they've got a lot of feedback from the community. Because if you guys haven't really been playing Scrap Mechanic, the physics is kind of a bit weird in Scrap Mechanic. If you have large creations or you have really complex creations, then they can start getting a bit glitchy, like falling through the ground, flying away, bending in weird ways, lagging to like 1 FPS when you touch each other. And it's just weird because like they're not even that big creations and they can still lag really bad. So yeah, Scrap Mechanic really needs a big optimization update. So hopefully we actually get an optimization update on creative before survival comes out, because then we actually get to enjoy the new like better FPS than we were. And then when survival mode comes out, hopefully it's really optimized, because it looks like they're adding quite a lot of stuff in survival mode. And if it's not optimized better than it is now, then it's probably going to be a pretty bad game, to be honest, because if you try build anything in Scrap Mechanic, you're more concerned on whether it's going to work than it is actually going to lag the world out. So yeah, so hopefully the optimization is actually pretty good and we get decent FPS when making like big creations and stuff like that, so we're actually able to build more complex creations and like actually build stuff instead of it just lagging every time we put like 5 suspension on tank. Anyway, moving down, as you can see, we've got 5 images, of the new Haybot. Now, if you guys weren't on Twitter, or you don't follow Scrap Mechanic on Twitter, which you should, it's linked in the description, you probably wouldn't have seen this. The teaser image last week, which we got, it actually included the Haybot, but I don't think many people guessed what it was. But yeah, it did include the Haybot, as you can see. Looks similar. If you look back to the image, it's kind of hard to tell that it was a Haybot, as since they showed us it didn't have any hay or anything in it. But as you can see, Haybot, it's got like a fork on it. Yeah, it's got a lot of hay. It's just like kind of like a basic farming bot. It looks like they spawn out in the wild in fields and stuff. I'm actually going to read this bottom bit before we actually get too in depth here. Haybot's gone haywire. You might recognise parts of the new farm bot from our teaser tweet last week. We are super excited to introduce to you the Haybot for the first time, but don't get too close unprepared, since they're very unreliable and dangerous. Originally made to make haystacks and package them in plastic wrap, these Haybots are gone out of control, and now they're often found doing nonsensical things like in ruins, like tearing them down and filling them with hay. The Haybots would be best described as a zombie of farm bots. Okay, so as I said, zombie or farm bots. I'm guessing it's kind of like sort of Minecraft zombies, where they kind of spawn anywhere. Looks like from here they can spawn in daytime as well, but in the nighttime their eyes glow as well. And because in Scrap Mechanic it gets really dark during the nighttime, it looks really creepy with these red eyes. So that's actually going to be pretty cool, adds to the atmospheric sense to the game. As you can see, imagine being chased by these like red eyes. It'd be really creepy in the game, which would make it really fun and enjoyable at night, as well as being really risky. I'm guessing these won't be like very high risk or whatever, because they're spawning in like packs of like 10 or so, so hopefully they won't do too much damage, because obviously there's a loads of spawning, but like I'm guessing these just spawn anywhere in the world, because most of the farm bots we've seen before this, they've always spawned in warehouses. These ones seem like the first ones that are actually gonna be spawning like naturally around the world instead of in like protecting warehouses and stuff like that. So this is really cool, nice addition. Okay, so moving on, I've zoomed in a bit here, it'll be way easier to see, and also it's just way better. New survival music. Our amazing musician Z, he has been working on a lot on new tracks for survival. Since the game has a lot of exploration and building, a lot of the music is beautiful, moody and atmospheric. However, today we'd like to share a snippet from where things intensify in survival. Potatoes fired, take cover, check out here. So there's a link here. I'll put the link in the description. I don't want to put it in like the video or anything. I don't want like, not sure the copyright or something like that is on here. But anyway, you can go check that out. And basically it's kind of like a battle, intense sort of like cinematic music kind of. And my theory is when, because it says potatoes fired, take cover, and it's when things intensify in survival here. I'm guessing it's going to be like when you engage into a fight with a farm bot. Now, like when you, like if you're in a warehouse or something, this might play as well. Because as we've already figured out, like warehouses are really dangerous places to be, and this music's really intense. So having this music play while you're in a battle is going to be super cool. Because it will add to the atmosphere and it will just be insane, and it will make the battle even more fun than it already is. So yeah, this new music that they're adding to the game is going to be really cool, because Scrap Mechanic doesn't really have much in the music side of it, and it only really has like one track or so, and it has the radio and note blocks and that and stuff like that. But the music doesn't really it's not really a thing in this game. So hopefully they'll come out with some really cool music which will add to the atmosphere of this game already, and it'll just be insane. So yeah, this new music idea is going to be really cool for survival, and hopefully it turns out good and the music's just sick. Anyway, so yeah, as for the music side of things, let's move on to the new GUI. Okay, so the new GUI, if you guys haven't been looking at Scrap Mechanics Twitter, then basically they released like a leak. Well, they didn't really leak it, they just kind of like showed us like a kind of like concept of the new GUI they're adding. I'm just gonna go read the bottom real quick. Big menu redesign. We did a little tease of the inventory redesign previously. The feedback that we received from you was fantastic and helped us to direct the redesign more to the community's liking. Here is an update on some of the new changes. Please keep in mind it's still not set in stone and we're still trying out new things, but please let us know what you think of the redesign above. So as you can see, we have I think 4 different images. Now this is like the image that we had before. It's just basically the inventory. As you can see, has loads of new tiles and stuff. Some of the actual block like images have changed, like the logic gate. As you can see, like the logic the gate is actually bigger on the logic gate. But yeah, and this looks like one of my theories, once they released like they teased it like ages ago on their Twitter, was that I looked at this glass. Now this glass, I'm gonna show you with one thing. This glass does not look like the glass in Scrap Mechanic. Scrap Mechanic is got really terrible glass. I mean, it might as well be grass because it is green. The glass is actually green. I don't know. It kind of looks like a beer bottle glass, and it's just really disgusting. There's no actual clear glass except from the challenge mode glass. That's still not exactly clear as well. So this actually might be a little tease to some new glass being added into Scrap Mechanic in the replacement of the old glass, which is really disgusting colour and it's really bad building windows with it. I don't even know why they changed it like to a greenish colour. You can't even paint it, and it's just the worst thing ever. This new glass is actually going to be probably one of the goodest additions to survival mode. That we're actually able to build actual windows instead of having like trash glass, like green coloured disgusting mouldy glass like that. Some people might like it because it's kind of like a scrap feel, but like that's just really bad colour and I don't really like it. So this once I saw this, I was really excited for like hopefully they're gonna change that. But anyway, yeah, so as you can see with the new tile shapes as well, when they teased it, they had different shapes like hexagons, and they also said they might be changing they might be adding like customizations to the actual GUI, so you're able to customize the GUI to your liking. So these shapes down here, as you can see, it's kind of like a square with like rounded off two corners, but in the other tees there was like a kind of like hexagonal sort of shape. So that might actually lead to like you being able to only change your shapes of tiles here as well, and they might be change it so you're able to change your own colors and stuff like that. As you can see from the top, this is one of the best parts of this GUI change, is this new tabs here. So as you can see, there's an all tab. This is where all the blocks and stuff and everything's stored in Scrap Mechanic. Tools tab, this is where all your tools are. Obviously in Scrap Mechanic there's going to be a lot more tools, so like having a separate tab is going to be useful as well. And then you got the blocks tab. This is where all your draggable blocks are in survival. There's going to be 1,000 more of these as well. The parts, this is like your I-beams and stuff down here, as you can see. And the interactive parts are actually like the toilets, the seats, the thrusters, the buttons, anything that you can touch or actually interact with. Those types of parts. The mod parts. Now this is probably the best thing about this. The mod parts are now separate. Because if you guys don't really use mods in like creative mode now, when you install a mod, all the parts get mixed together with the other actual vanilla parts. So adding this new mod part section makes it insanely good, because you're actually able to find stuff now instead of having 1,000 different mods in the same area, and you just have to scroll down forever trying to look, and it's like go around each block and try to see which one you actually need. With this new like tab system, you're actually able to find your blocks really easy, and as you can see, user generated content pack, I think that just means mod, so I'm guessing these are all your different mods in here. This username here, this is whoever creates the mod, and all these blocks here, this is just all like the things that are inside the mod. So obviously if you have a massive mod, that's going to be a bit bigger, but the cool thing about this is if you have multiple mods, they won't mix together either. They have their own little tab here, and you can also scroll down for like loads. So you can have thousands of mods installed, and you can still find all the packs really easy. And as you can see, you can like minimize them as well. So if you don't want to scroll down for ages, you can just minimize them and just scroll down to the next one and open it up with this plus symbol here. That's really cool. Now this is probably one of the best features, because like sometimes when I'm using mods like the mod pack from Durf, there's just so many parts, so you can't even find like the normal actual vanilla parts that you need to actually play the game. So this is going to be a sick update to the GUI. Also down below, you can see the new chests that are being added to survival mode. We've already got chests in challenge mode. These new chests are going to be insane. As you can see, there's a scroll bit here, or like a sort of pull up like scroller here, which leads me to believe like chests might like actually have way more storage than just the 20 tiles here. But they did say this is kind of like not finished the concept, so they might have just copy and pasted this kind of scroll thing here. So they actually might only have 20 tiles. I don't think chests are going to be that OP. You have like 100 tiles in one area. It's going to be really sick to see how many like tiles we actually get to store in one chest. And yeah, it makes it really easy to use this inventory. And yeah, as you can see, the new options page and stuff like that, the new colors and everything, new shading and stuff, that makes it really cool. The new icons. If you guys don't really play Scrap Mechanic now, if you guys like press escape, all the buttons are basically just like square boxes with text in them, and when you click them, it just sends you to that thing, and there's just more like square boxes. This new like kind of like more iconish type feel makes it look way more better, because like it's not just a boring old like text on a box that you just click. It's got like some really nice home warming feel here. As you can see, very easy to change controls, aim sensitivity as well, you can slide that. And yeah, it's a really cool update, big menu design. That's really useful one, and I hope this gets survival mode comes out like way earlier than everyone expects, so we get to use this feature, because this is probably going to be one of my favorite features in survival mode, just this new GUI system. Okay, so moving on, we have this new tool here. Now this looks like a really weird tool. As you can see, there's loads of different things hanging out, kind of like one of those knives that go all like there's thousands of different knives in one area. As you can see, there's a little GIF here. This is called the multi-tool, introducing a new multi-tool, or maybe more accurately described as the refinery hand tool. It's lucky that all mechanics came equipped with one, very handy in survival situations if your maintenance ship crashes and you're stranded, a lifesaver when it comes to refining wood, farmbot legs, and stone into blocks. However, it's a bit slow, so upgrading to a refining bot would be more efficient for sure. So as you can see, it says when your maintenance ship crashes. If you guys haven't really been paying attention to the actual scrap mechanic story, basically your dwarf crashes into the earth with his maintenance ship. Well, I'm not sure if it's called an Earth yet. I don't know what planet we're on, but it just crashes into the planet, and you're stuck on the stranded in this Earth where all the farm bots turned rogue. So the farm bots used to just be like really normal working farm bots that just used to just farm, but now they turned rogue, and you've crashed on this planet, and you're stranded. So that's what it means by like handy in survival situations if your maintenance ship crashes. So it's kind of like some sort of ironic thing. So yeah, this is basically sort of like your starting tool. So this is basically just to get the ball rolling basically in your base. Then once you start getting like the automatic like machines and stuff like that, you're not really gonna need this machine so much because you're able to strip down wood with your own vehicles after like you start progressing and stuff instead of stripping it down with this little tool here. It also says turning stone into blocks. So I'm not sure how stone's gonna work. They've never really like sort of give us a clue for how we're actually going to be getting stone. But if you see in the background there's these rocks here, I'm not sure if you're able to like pickaxe the actual ground. So if you guys are in like the actual tile builder, you know like these rocks are just like freaking assets. So I'm not sure if when you mine this rock, like the asset actually changes. I'm not sure how that's gonna like work in the actual game. But I'm not sure how stone mining or anything like that's gonna work. Haven't really told us anything. They've told us how wood's gonna work. As you can see, these little wood strips. These come from trees, which are able to cut down with like the cutting tool, the spinning saw blade, which you can have in vehicles and stuff. So we know how wood's gonna work, but we don't know how stone's gonna work. I'm not sure if you're able to mine or dig down into the ground or change the actual assets or terrain to where you want. It'd be really cool if you could just mine the cliff away and have like a secret base there somewhere. That'd be insane. But yeah, so that's the multi-tool. Probably like one of the most useful tools as well. It's got everything you need to do to start your own base, and that's a really cool addition. It's probably gonna be needed as well because when you start, you're not gonna have like automatic machines already running. So this is gonna be a really useful tool as well. So moving on to the crashed ship. Okay, so this is our crashed maintenance ship. As I said earlier, the story is that you crashed in your maintenance ship on this planet. As you can see, this is the actual ship you crashed in, and this is where you're actually going to be starting in the thing. So this is kind of like concept art. This is called work in progress. I'm guessing they're in like a tile builder sort of thing, and they've just placed this down, and they're testing all this different new stuff and that. But as you can see here, we actually have a new insight into some of the fire and like smoke aspects into the game, because obviously in this game you're gonna need some fire to do some stuff, and fire is probably gonna be one of the most useful things in survival. Hopefully actually add a way to make fire, because this looks really cool, especially with the smoke coming off. And also if we move into these images which are inside the actual thing here, you can see the smoke from the fire actually raises up until it hits the roof. This would be really cool, because like if you had a fire in your, well, it wouldn't be really cool if you had a fire in your own base, but if you had a fire in your own base, all the smoke would like cloud up to the top of the base, and it would be kind of really hard to see, adding to like the atmosphere of the actual thing. As you can see, these are kind of like only drawings though, so I'm not sure if the smoke's actually gonna like stay at the top. It makes it look really cool though. As you can see, we have like sort of like the control panel area here with like the joysticks and stuff, the power cubes, all this different like computery and stuff like this, just like kind of space tech and that. As you can see here though, we have like a power core. Now as you can see, this thing here, this looks like kind of like a battery. Now I'm not sure, you might be able to, from this like concept art, you might be able to like actually pull it out and take the battery for yourself to actually like use it in your own vehicle. And it'd be really cool if all this different stuff here you could actually take out of your own maintenance ship and use it in your own vehicles, kind of like recycle the parts and like scrap up your entire ship to take all the parts. As you can see, there's an exit sign, take that, the door. We've already seen this door in the actual thing. And yeah, it'd be really cool just to like dismantle your own ship and use those parts to your own liking. We can see here like a computer. I'm not sure what this computer would be used for. This computer looks like, I'm not sure, this might be a computer where you're able to like circle around the actual ship, because if you guys have seen challenge mode, when you go into a computer it kind of like gives you sort of like a third person view of the entire world. So maybe if you like gone onto this computer it might just circle your entire ship. Obviously here we have like a locker, so this might also be like a different storage technique, like you can store stuff in lockers. This is just a drawing at the minute, it's not actually an actual like building, but like we might actually be seeing lockers and stuff and new storage techniques like that in the actual game. Store stuff in the thing. There's also like a microwave here, beds here, normal stuff, a button, ventilation. I'm not sure how like air's gonna work. I'm not sure if they're gonna add like air resistance or actually air or aerodynamics and stuff like that. But that'd be really cool if they did. Then we could actually make like planes and stuff, which would be really cool, and it would add like way better like new technology into the world of Scrap Mechanic. Yeah, this overall looks really cool. I'm actually gonna read the text. I forgot to read that. The crash. We're not sure whether we should keep this crash site a secret for its release. After all, it's where you start in survival mode. But we changed our minds. You mechanics need to see more of the cool things that we've been working on. So here it goes, including some of the early concepts. We don't want to spoil too much, so we'll leave it at that. So yeah, this is just kind of their concepts at the minute. I'm guessing they're still working on it. They've kind of, this is like an already built sort of like bathroom, as you can see. So yeah, it looks really cool, especially with like the fire where it's crashed. It makes it look really dark and gloomy and kind of like very like stranded type feeling. So that's a really cool sort of addition to the survival. And yeah, I look forward to actually spawning into this thing for the first time, doing a video on it. I'm not actually gonna go in. I'm actually gonna like do a video where I actually like first get into survival mode, and just show you guys like where this all stuff is, because this looks super awesome. Can't wait for this to come out. But anyway, let's move on to the next thing that's in this devblog. Okay, so loot crates. Well, you kind of might like back up in your chair and fall off your chair and go down a cliff, and your house might explode when you hear the name loot crates. But don't worry, these are just kind of like the supply drops you get in like Fortnite, where they just drop down. Well, I'm not sure if they actually drop down, but they spawn all over the map and they just give you stuff. You don't actually have to pay any in-game currency or anything to get this loot. They're just pure random loot drops that you can get for free. So don't be worrying about all that legal type stuff or loot boxes and stuff in games. This is just pure the supply crates that come down in the world of things. This is like a new way to get loot instead of raiding warehouses, because sometimes warehouses can be pretty rare, and usually they're really dangerous to take on. And if you don't have the materials to take on warehouses, then you're gonna need to start somewhere. So these crates are gonna get you started on make your own stuff before you can start tackling the actual warehouses where you can get some of that real deal loot. As you can see, they're kind of crumpled up. I'm guessing you just hit them and they open up with some like actual decent loot, so you can start building. But as you can see from this text, crates with loot scattered around the map. Mechanics will find these smashable crates. We are still not sure who scattered them around the planet. They might have fallen from a cargo ship. It's still a mystery to be resolved. However, they still do contain some good items at times, and they're totally worth the smash and have a look inside. Who knows, you could be lucky. So yeah, these can be random, so you might get like a trash like pipe piece or something, or you might get like a fully upgraded gas engine or something from this. So it's kind of like a luck based thing, but it'd be really cool just to get parts from like randomly from these crates here. And it kind of makes you want to explore a bit more than just stay in your base and just farm around the trees around your own area. This makes you explore a bit more for like the high risk reward. So yeah, that's for the loot crates. Don't worry, they're not actually like in-game currency sort of like stuff, actual loot boxes and gambling type stuff like that. So don't worry about that, but it's just like a supply crate. Looks really cool, adds to the exploration of the actual game, and I can't wait to actually pop one of these open for the first time. So yeah, let's move on from this. So on to the cookbot concept. The cookbot is a new addition for the helping bots that the mechanic can craft. This master chef will take your ingredients and make the most delicious dishes, just absolutely yummy. Some are even so good that they can revive a fallen mechanic in multiplayer, but it will cost you some adventuring and harvesting to help the cookbot put it all together. So I'm guessing this cookbot is going to be like a new crafting machine. So if you haven't seen the previous devlogs, there's been like crafting bots that just craft stuff together. There's like refining bots and stuff like that. So this cookbot is going to be like a new addition to those. As you can see, there's different animations for a different type kind of actually, wait, these actually might be different types of the farm bot, as you can see. Oh yeah, okay, this might be like a microwave one. This might be like some other thing. This is like the actual chef, and this one looks like something that just salts pepper. Actually, it might change its hat. Actually, might change its hat every time. I don't know. I think these are just concepts at the minute, so they might change. But every single one of these looks really cool. So yeah, I like the little hands that do all the jobs. It'd be really cool if they just sprinkle it on, and yeah, this cookbox gonna be really useful as well because like if you had to craft food, it wouldn't make really that much sense to craft food. So this new cookbox is gonna be really cool. So moving on, random fun stuff. Let's close it off with some smaller but fun random things that you might enjoy. This is is a gif here of this little tote block robot spider looking thing jumping around. I like the animation on this thing. It's kind of like sporadic, and there's loads of one that kind of just like swarms you with loads. There's two here, and as you can see, they actually do damage. You can see the pipe just disconnected from the actual vehicle. So I'm guessing these will like try and attack your actual vehicle. They'll spawn randomly, I'm guessing, and when you're driving around in your vehicle, they'll spawn around, try to take out your wheels, and then they will disable your actual vehicle one part at a time, which will be really cool to add to like the actual like intensity of driving around and the risk of driving around. And it'd be really cool to have like some sort of like drive with like these tote blocks behind you trying to chase you. It'd be really cool. Also, we also did some updates to our engine, add a nice translucency when the sun hits the trees and bushes. So yeah, this looks really cool. They're adding to like the realism of the actual game. As you can see, there's kind of like shadows. Nice leaves have their own like sort of like actual shadow textures now, and it makes the game look way better. They've been working on the lighting of the game a lot recently, so this new update is actually pretty sick, and I can't wait to like turn all the graphics up. My computer will probably die, but like I don't care because it just looks so beautiful from these images. As you see, these are not really high res images. Once you get them on your own screen, it's going to be sick. Moving down here, also, this is a new sort of lighting update. When you're in the dark time, as you see, also more work has been done on dynamic lights and shadow casting. Here is an updated GIF. So yeah, as you can see, the shadow of the dwarf changes sort of like the angle of the actual thing, and also like lights like spotlights and stuff, they actually like cast a shadow on the actual dwarf now, and it sort of has like some like sort of stretching effect as well as when it goes farther away, and the shadows look really nice and fuzzy. I'm not sure if that's just a gif, but it looks really cool in the night time as well. When it hits like the grass and that, kind of makes these little patches of light areas. Makes the game look way better. Lastly, we want to say a big thanks to all the amazing support and patience for you mechanics. We are speeding the survival development as much as we can without compromising on quality. We hope you agree it's the right decision. We'll be back soon with more news. So I don't really back soon. That's probably going to be like 2 months away, but from what we've just gathered, that's a lot of information to deal with. Got supply crates, new crash areas been leaked, cookbot being added. These new farm bots look really cool, adding to the exploration. New lighting looks sick. Can't wait to be checking that out. So yeah, the new cutting tool, refining, this new GUI as well is really cool. This new farm bot, really sick. It's a nice little devlog here. It wasn't really one of the biggest ones, but really nice update on one they're actually working on. Hopefully survival comes out soon, and yeah, this is a sick devlog right here, and can't wait for the next devlog, or maybe not even the next devlog, just the next survival update if it comes out before the next devlog as well, which would be insane. By the way, we're closing in on their actual deadline that they set for themselves. Well, it's not really a deadline, it's kind of what they hope to get the survival game done by. And they said they wanted to get it done by like late 2019 or like early 2020. which is their actual like goal, but it's not really like set in stone at the minute. So if they actually gets it done by like December, that's gonna be really sick. 'Cause around Christmas time, it could kind of be like a small little Christmas present for all the mechanics out there. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video and want to see more, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also leave a like down below so I know you guys like this type of video. Also leave a comment suggesting any new types of videos you want to see on my channel as well. That's it for this video. Make sure you watch all my previous devblog ones as well. Thanks for watching. That's it.